following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Accordingly, viewer discretion is advised. Today on The Point TV.
So I messaged him and I was like, hey, do you remember me? Like, trying not to be creepy, but... and he's like, yeah. And she put it on my belly, the scanner. And she just, like, looked, and I just felt it was wrong. It changed me completely. It's also, like, not made me stronger, but made me realise how, again, because losing my best friend, you know, that was a shock at 18 years old, but then losing something, again, so close to me, I think, that, like, I don't know, I felt like I could, you know, I've got this.
And
like, I just want to
later.
do it for myself. And I also would love to, you know, help other women.
All this and more on The Point TV.
Okay, Brooke, welcome to The Point TV and our Stillbirth Talk series.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. It takes so much courage to come forward and to share your story, so I really honour you for doing that. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
To begin with, I think the best place to start is probably going back in time and maybe back to where you met your partner.
Yeah.
If you could start by telling us how you guys met.
Yeah.
And we can kind of flow from there.
Yeah. So we met at my brother's party. And I was with my ex-boyfriend at the time. And I seen him, we were like in this kind of like area, this room, and he was playing pool. And my ex-boyfriend at the time was just annoying me. And I was just like, can you please just go sit somewhere else? And so he was buying me drinks, my ex-boyfriend, and like sitting somewhere else. And I was with a group of girls, and I seen this guy, Junior, my partner, and he was playing pool, and I was like, whoa. I said to my friend, I was like, who is that? And then he was like, and then she was like, that's Junior. And I was like, okay. And then he's like, sure. She's like, oh, he's got a girlfriend. And I was like, damn, I've got a boyfriend too, so nothing. And then I had work the next morning, so I was like, okay, no worries. But he actually came over and introduced himself and everything like that. And then that was it. Okay. And then I found him on Facebook. Stalk. And then I seen photos of him and his ex-girlfriend, and I was like, damn it, he's taken. And so then I kind of left it, and then I broke up with my boyfriend. And then I stalked him again, like, probably 3 weeks later, and he was broken up with his girlfriend as well. So I was like, what? So I messaged him and I was like, hey, do you remember me? Like, trying not to be creepy, but... And he's like, yeah. And then, yeah, we were just talking, and then I said, okay, like, it was late, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to bed. He's like, do you mind if I call you? And I'm like, I don't even know you. I'm like, okay. And then, yeah, we spoke and we hit it off from there. Then the first time we officially, like, kind of went on a date, I picked him up from the train station. And I was so nervous. I said to my friend, I was on the phone to her the whole way, I'm like, I cannot meet this guy, like, I'm so nervous. And then, anyway, we did. And I ran up to him and just, I don't know, I just felt so comfortable and, like, yeah, it was weird. So, yeah, we just hit it off from there. And then I dropped him off at his friend's house because he caught the train. And I was like, oh, if he doesn't like me, like, I'm just going to drop him off. And then if he texts me, he likes me. So I dropped him off at his friend's house. And then straight away, like 3 minutes later, I got a message. And I was like, oh my God, it was the best feeling in the world. I was like, wow. And he was just so genuine. So, and then that night we went, I went clubbing with my cousin. And I was like, yeah, we'll meet us out later on. And then I was kind of like in the Q1 in the just his party. And I was taking my time, and my cousin was just like, yeah, she was just taking her time. So I was like, oh, I want to go meet this guy. And then we went to the clubs, and then as soon as I seen him, I'm like, oh, I want to go home, because I just don't enjoy clubbing. really. I don't even know how I got whatever. Yeah, so we went home, and he was just like, oh, okay, no worries. And then I was like, what, so you're not coming with me? You're going to stay clubbing? And he was like torn. He's like, oh, I don't even know you, but like I can come with you if you want. And I was like, okay. And then we went back to my mum's house, and then yeah, we just went to bed. But we spoke the whole night, and then we went to bed. And my mum was like, I was 18 at the time. I'm 22 now. So my mum's like, don't you like sleep in separate beds? I've made 2. And I'm like, you're so funny, Mum, but whatever. And then yeah, and then he didn't try anything, and I was like, wow, like it really tested me, like to see if he was like a little player or not. Mm-hmm. But no, nothing. And then yeah, that's how we met.
What a story.
Yeah.
A bit of Facebook stalking, a bit of clubbing. And so how long were you together before you decided to get pregnant?
Yeah. So we got engaged within 6 months of being together.
Wow.
My best friend, she actually passed away when we were 18. So I was just like, you know what, life's so short. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. But if it is going to be, well, what have I got to lose? So yeah, so that happened, and then got engaged in Thailand, and then we've been together for 4 years now. So 3 years and like 10 months or whatever.
Okay.
Since when we started trying.
And what was the decision to start trying? Was it just like...
So we bought a house.
Okay.
And that was a massive step for us. That was one of our goals, massive goal. And we just felt right. I was just like, you know, I'm currently studying uni, so I'm such a planner. And I just felt, if whilst I'm studying uni, I can look after the baby. And then I can start my career. So then I don't have to stop and start. But yeah.
Okay.
So that's how.
And then there came a point in time when you discovered that you were pregnant.
Yes.
So what was that like for you?
Yeah. Well, so we were trying, and within the first month, it happened. And it was in February. I did a pregnancy test the day of my birthday, because I'm like, right, if I am not pregnant, I can drink. So did a test, nothing, negative. And I was like, okay, sweet, no worries. And then I did another one 3 days later. And I just felt weird. It was strange. Junie went to work, and I think I had work that day, but I went to Woolies, and I just felt like I had to go to the shops to buy a pregnancy test. So I did. Came back home, and I was like, alright. Because I did so many pregnancy tests before, and I was like, never relax or whatever. So I was like, I'm just putting my phone away, like just relaxing on the toilet. And then, yeah, it was positive. So I was like, whoa, it came up so quickly and just so bold. And I was like, wow. And I got a pack of 3. So I did one, and then I did another one, and then I did another one. And I said to Junior, I messaged him, and then I was like, oh my gosh. And then I called him, and I'm like, I'm pregnant. And he's like, what? Like, wow, like, how, why? And I was like, I'm pregnant. Obviously, like I said, we're trying, but like, I don't think we were shocked because it happened so soon, like within 1 month. So he was just like, wow, like, well, let's go to the doctors and, you know, get your blood test and just confirm. So I did, like 2 days later, and then I got my results back, and it was, yeah.
Okay. And then what was the pregnancy like for you?
So the pregnancy, I was so sick, constantly, so sick. Yeah, I was so sick. Yeah, so I knew, like, I don't know, it was just not a fun time. I was so sick, and I was studying uni as well, and working, and also volunteering, and so it was so hard to do everything, and I'd literally just get on the couch and just asleep all the time. Yeah, so, and yeah, it was a struggle even to just get up, do, you know, I just felt just, yeah, so sick.
And did that last for you for the whole pregnancy, or was that just for
Yeah, the whole pregnancy.
Okay.
Yeah. So the morning of when I went to the hospital, I even still thought, like, you know, she was there because I was still vomiting. And my mum couldn't find I didn't have any vomit bags. And it was in my mum's new car, and I was like, oh. She's like, hang on. And we're at the lights just near the hospital. She's like, just wait, Brooke. And I was like, oh. And I was literally going to leap over to the back to see if I could find anything. She opens up the glove box, and she finds a plastic bag. And I was like, thank goodness. And I just vomited everywhere. Okay. So.
And this was on the way to the hospital. Was this the day that you...
Yeah.
So when,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so when I did, I went to the hospital to deliver Nevaeh.
Right.
Yeah.
And so to rewind just a little bit, when did you actually find out that she'd passed away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had our 12-week scan, and everything was low risk of everything. So, and she said, the lady said she was healthy and everything like that. And then Nevaeh kept moving crazily, like she was so active, and she said come back in 16 weeks just to check her heart, because she could find a few valves, or I don't know, the blood streaming or whatever, but she couldn't see it properly because she was moving so much. And she's like, come back, no worries, free of charge. I'm like, okay, no worries, it'll be good to see her again. And then, yeah, so that was it. We were happy, and then we announced it. And then when we went back, so it was a Friday, we went back for the 16-week scan. And she put it on my bed, the scanner. And she just, looked, and I just felt it was wrong. I just felt something was wrong, and so did Junior. And Junior and I were so Junior was sitting in the chair and I was laying on the bed, and she was just staring at the screen. And I was like, oh, is that her head? Because I could see her head. And she's like, yeah. And then she just took one moment, and she just didn't say anything, and I was like, oh, this is not good. And then she said, she turned off the thing, and she's like, I'm so sorry, guys. And I'm like, oh, what? She's like, she's got no heartbeat. And when I keep referring to her she was confirmed she was a girl. So we named her Nevaeh. But yeah, so she said, I'm so sorry, I'll let you guys have a moment to yourselves. And at that time as well, she was pregnant, and we had a really long conversation on our 12-week scan, because she's had a miscarriage and everything like that. But yeah, so she was, and she said we could announce it and everything like that. So I think she felt just horrible. So she walked out and let us just kind of gasp what's going on. And then she came back in the room, and she said, do you want me to take some more photos of her? And I was like, oh, I don't know. But I did, because I was like, no, you know what? This is the last time, we could take proper ultrasound photos. So we did. And then we went home, and I called my mum straight away, and I was like, there's no heartbeat. And so my mum and her husband came straight away to our house, and I was just a mess, of course. And we were just there at my house, just sitting on the couch. And then I was like, well, what do I do now? And we had to go to the doctors, because I had no idea what to do. And then went to the doctors, and they said, you'll need to go to the hospital. So I called the hospital, and they didn't have anything availability or something until Monday, so to actually see someone. So we booked an appointment for Monday. It happened on the Friday, so Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday. And I think as well, it was hard just knowing, that she was in there still. And then, we went to the doctors, and then that's when we made the appointment. And then Monday came, and then it was just literally a time where the doctors pretty much just said what the process is going to be.
And so you went in on the Monday to start the process?
So Monday was the appointment to just get told everything, what's going to happen. They did say, like, is it like it's similar to like an abortion? No, they could do that kind of way.
Okay.
Or, but because she was 16 weeks, they said it was just, you couldn't do it. Or another one, I think, as well, like when it's, say like 12, 13 weeks, you can take a tablet and have a miscarriage at home. So, I was like, oh, like, I don't really want to do that. But anyway, it came to that I had to actually give birth because of like the bone structure and everything like that.
And so what was that like for you when you found out that you would be birthing Nevaeh?
I think I was okay with it. Like, I think I would have rathered that than any other way.
And so when did you begin the process of birthing her?
Yeah, so it was on the Wednesday. So I went in on the Monday for the appointment, and then they booked me in on the Wednesday for the birthing suite. And that was hard as well, going in there. But
so were you in the maternity ward of the hospital?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Traumatized. Yeah. So on the Wednesday, we had to... Junior went to work. Because I said to him... Because I had to just take this tablet to trick my body that I wasn't pregnant anymore.
Okay.
And I said, you know, you go to work because... he's running his own business, and I wasn't working at the time because I was so sick and I was just trying to study and juggle everything. So I said, you go to work, and then at 3 o'clock, that's when we had to go back to the hospital. But in the morning at 8:30, I had to go there. Mum came with me, and so I had to take the tablet. So we went to the hospital, went in this room and spoke to this lady, and she was so supportive. Anyway, she gave me the tablet, and I said to her, I was like, I said, can I please just get one more last check in the in an ultrasound, just to make sure there's no heartbeat, because I just thought, you know, that's just, I just wanted to, you know, do that for myself, just know again. So we went to the ultrasound room, and we seen her again, and confirmed no heartbeat. And then we went to the room again, and I took the tablet, and I think that was the hardest part, because it was like, you know, the end of my pregnancy. And then so once I took that, she said it takes, I think, 8 hours to like proper process. So we went home, Mum and I went back to her house, and we just went and had some lunch, and then we went to the shops just to get some pyjamas and stuff for the hospital. And then by that time it was pretty much ready to go, so Mum and I drove there, and then Junior met us there, and then that's when I got put into the birthing suite.
And so when everything was happening, what did it feel like for you? You know.
So, contraction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you experience contractions?
Yeah. So it was full on, like, I took, like, they gave me morphine, and it wasn't, I was like, is this meant to stop it completely? Because I still can feel something, like, it. And, she was like, no, like, you'll still feel it, but it will just take the edge off it. So I was like, okay. But, so when we went into the birthing suite, massive room, it was crazy. Obviously people don't go in there unless, you know, they're delivering a baby. So it was beautiful. It was like a massive, they had a massive, like, spa bath, so for women that want to have, you know, a water birth. And then there was a massive double bed. So we just sat there. So we got there about 3 o'clock, and we just sat there until like 4 o'clock until they came. And I was like, oh, so long in the hospital. But so they gave me, I think at about 4 o'clock they gave me 2 tablets. I forget what they're called.
Yeah, I don't know the name of them.
Yeah. Anyway,
I had them too, but I can't remember what. Yeah.
So they inserted 2 tablets in my vagina. to bring on my labour. And so that, normally they said, you know, it takes a few goes for it to actually start, the contractions and the proper labour. So they did that, and it was so uncomfortable. Like, so uncomfortable.
Them going in?
Yeah, just I think the whole thing, like I've never had people besides Junior, you know, look at, like, ooh, I don't know, it was just like a bit, yeah. And so that was quite funny, because Junior was sitting, like, right near where the lady was. I'm like, can you please move? That's just so awkward. And he's like, why? I'm like, please. So they did that, and we pretty much just waited. We got some dinner, and they brought us dinner in, but hospital food's not always that good, so we went downstairs and had something to eat. And then Junior's family came over.
Okay.
Who came to the birthing suite. And then also my auntie as well, she came just to kind of see us and make sure we were okay, because I didn't want too many people there, and I didn't want them there. I said to my mum and Junior, like, if anything happens, get them the fuck out. Like, I don't want anyone here besides my mum and Junior. So that happened.
So the tablets went in, and then how long from the tablets going in to when Nevaeh was born?
Yeah, so I think, so the first set of tablets was 6 hours, nothing happened. So at about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So at about 9 o'clock they did it again. They put the another 2 tablets in, and then I could could start feeling like the contractions, and like my tummy was so painful. It was like period pain times like a million. So yeah, so that happened, and the midwife said to me, you know, like, don't be, you know, brave or whatever and not have anything. Like, you need to have something in order to, like, make the pain stop. And she said, you know, you've been through enough. So I started off with Panadol, because I was like, I'll just have Panadol. And then, no, morphine in my bum, and it was, that was just awkward and painful. And then I was like, no, I still could feel it. And then so they put one in my leg. And then I was trying to sleep. So this was about 9:30. 9:30. And I was so tired. So I was trying to sleep. And I couldn't sleep. Like, just couldn't sleep. Yeah, so when it came to about 1 o'clock, my waters broke, and it was the most weird feeling I've ever, like, experienced. It's just like your whole body, like, you just can't even control anything. And I was like, oh my gosh, Mum, Junior, like, oh my gosh, my waters broke. And I just felt like, I don't even know how to explain it. But, it was just, everywhere. And that's when my mum called the midwife, and she came in, and she was really happy because my nighttime midwife knew, like, she really wanted me to have Nevaeh whilst she was on her shift. I could just tell when the midwife, she was beautiful too, like, they were so amazing, but she was so happy. So she said, she's like, oh, okay, so what you need to do is you need to put, like, a towel, because Nevaeh was only 16 weeks, she wasn't, like, a fully formed baby. Well, she was, but she was ready to grow, but she wasn't, like, you know, big. So she said to me to hold, like, this towel type thing and go to the toilet. And she put like, blankets in the toilet, and she said, alright, just push, like, you're going to do a poo. And I was like, okay. And I pushed, and she came out straight away.
Okay.
Yeah. And she came out, it was amazing. She came out in her sack. So obviously, like, you know, fully formed baby would break the sac, but Nevaeh was quite tiny and just, yeah. So the sac was about that big, and she came out in the sac, and she's, then I went back to the bed, and the midwife, you know, got her, and the midwife said, do you want me to cut the sac in front of you, or do you want me to do it and bring Nevaeh in? And I was like, no, do it in front of me. So when we took photos of it, like the sac before she cut it open, because it was just amazing to see. Like, never saw anything like it. And you could just see her through the sac too, like just laying there. And yeah, so she cut it, and then yeah, Nevaeh was in there. So she was, yeah, fully formed little baby. So she had her hands and everything, nose, ears, feet, and all separated too. It was amazing.
And did you spend much time with her?
Yeah.
Afterwards? Yeah.
Yeah, so when we had her, I think because I was like on morphine or whatever, I was just like staring at her. And I was just like, wow, like how amazing is that? Like Junior and I made that. It was so amazing. It's just, yeah, I just couldn't stop staring at her. So the midwife brought in a cold cot to kind of keep her like whole, like not whole, but you know what I mean, like just not
to keep the
disintegrating.
body cool.
Yeah, because she was passed away, so she was disintegrating quite quickly. But yeah, so when the lady, the midwife brought the cold cot in, I stared at her for so long, and I was so tired. We got to pick her up and hold her and everything like that, and Jeannie got to cut her umbilical cord, which is really nice. And then, yeah, I went to bed. I was so tired. And then at about, I think it was like 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning, I woke up, and I was like, I just looked straight over, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, because, you know, your conscious is still there when you're sleeping, so all I wanted to do was just look at her and hold her. So I picked her up from the cot and just stared at her. And you know, Junior and my mum was holding her too, and yeah.
And then, how many days was it before you actually got to go home from hospital?
Yeah, so it was they did say we could stay another night with her, but I just wanted to go home. Like, you know, being in the birthing suite, like, Mum and I went to, after I had Nevaeh, Mum and I went to, like, the next morning, we went downstairs to get a hot chocolate, and, you know, when we went back up to the birthing suite in the maternity ward, I just saw all ladies in, I just saw all ladies contract, like, there was this one lady, and she was, like, in this wheelchair, and she was, the poor thing, she was in so much pain, but yeah, so she was, ready to have her baby, and it was just like it just wasn't a nice place to be in there. So I said, no, like, I want to go home. So yeah, okay, I went home that day.
And I can see that you brought a box with you.
I did.
I'd love for you to share what's in there.
Yeah. So this is what so we got her blessed the same day as well.
At the hospital? Okay. Yeah,
so we got all of that. But they gave us this box, and I think it's so lovely, you know, because we can't take our babies home. You know, we got something to take home. So this is her little teddy.
Aww.
So that was near her the whole time.
Beautiful.
And this is the little blanket she was in.
Did the hospital give you that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So nice.
So beautiful.
Yeah. So that's her. That was in there. And then when she got photos and everything like that, she was just sitting in here. Okay. So it was really pretty. And one of the, like, a stillbirth mum as well, she, like, made all this.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So I think it's so lovely.
Oh, and it's got, like, a little angel on
Yeah.
there. Yeah. That's beautiful.
And then the priest that came in as well to bless Nevaeh, he gave me that as well. So it says, the love between mothers and daughters is forever.
Oh. How beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. So, and
I kept mine too.
yeah. I'm gonna check this. I think there's like 3 in here, but yeah. So that was and it was such a strong line too.
Mm. Yeah, for so early, like the lines are so strong.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so, what's it been like for you since having Nevaeh? The time between having her and now, what's that been like for you?
So it's changed me completely. It's also like not made me stronger, but made me realise how, again, because losing my best friend, you know, that was a shock at 18 years old. But then losing something again so close to me, I think that, like, I don't know, I felt like I could, you know, I've got this. Like, I felt strong. And all I want to do is just, focus on my family and just make myself happy. Like, I think I don't know, I've always been not a nervous person, but like never spoke up. And I just believe that, like, I need to invest so much more time in myself and, yeah, you know, like, and just be stronger and just believe in myself.
And why did you decide to share your story and Nevaeh's story today?
Yeah, because I simply just I wanted to do it for me, to kind of, you know, again, believe in myself that I can do this and I am strong enough to do it. And Junior was a bit hesitant. He's like, oh, why are you doing that? But I'm like, I just want to do it for myself. And I also would love to, you know, help other women, because it's not talked about. Unless if it happens to, like, you or a close friend or family, like, it's not talked about. It's just swept under the carpet and everyone moves on. And I think as well, you know, some mums are too afraid to talk about it. And I would love to just, you know, be that person where they can be open and, you know everything is going to be okay at the hardest of times.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and Nevaeh's story today. And, you know, you say that you've been a bit quiet or shy or hesitant to talk, so I really honour you for speaking out today and for being the voice for all of the women who feel silenced by their grief. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Jackie.
Hey everyone, Gerald Pauschmann here, founder of The Point TV. Have you ever thought about hosting your very own show? Really? I want you to think about it. Now, if you are a naturally inquisitive person, then you may have just what it takes to host a show. You just have to hold treats. Now, you don't have to be an expert speaker when you do interviews, because you just have to ask questions, step away, and let the interviewee do all the talking. Now, we all know that there are some amazing talk show hosts who do incredible things by simply talking to other people. I mean, think about Andrew Denton, Dr. Phil, Ellen DeGeneres, and of course, the Big O. No, not Roy Orbison, but Oprah Winfrey. I mean, she started out with a half-hour low-rated talk show in Chicago, and look at her now. And the secret to her success was simply interviewing people. Now, when it comes to the social media world, the big name that comes to mind is Gary Vaynerchuk. He became famous for Wine Library TV. He simply just sat behind a camera in his wine library store and he talked about wine. Gary also has a pretty cool personality, which led him to incredible opportunities. And as a result of him just simply talking about wine, he got a $1 million book contract. Now, I'm not saying that you will make millions, but who am I to stop you from trying? Come here, Jessie. Good girl. For me, well, I got behind the camera and talked to people who wanted to raise awareness about their cause or charity. People like Sam Webb and Casey Lyons from livin.org, who wanted to raise awareness about youth suicide. And Jackie Gall, a young mum who lost a child at 23 weeks and wanted to raise awareness about stillbirthing. Now, these interviews shot the Point TV to amazing success. I think these guys helped. Now, the interviews weren't the only reason for the success, but they were extremely instrumental. So if this is what you've been searching and didn't know how to get started, well, click or tap on the link below and see if you have what it takes to host your very own show. I should do a show about dogs. Thanks, Bear. Thanks, Jesse. See you on the other side.